What's good, family? Welcome back. So we have this video right here of Cardi B randomly getting demon possessed while she's on live, along with a lot of other shocking videos. So let's get straight into this. Let's see what's going on.
Okay, then of course said it's 3 a.m. Oh yes, 12 a.m. I hear, girl. How's your baby though? So cute, so cute.
Watch how she switches. Also notice the nails too.
I hate humans. Humans I hate. So
Guy named Aaron Berman is the misinformation policy.
Bro, now that was just weird. I don't think she was doing that just to troll. That was just completely off.
Director at Meta, and it even says right in his LinkedIn at the top, former CIA. And if you go down, senior project policy manager since 2019 at Meta. But from March 2002 to July 2019, 17 years he was in the CIA as a senior analytical manager. We've also got Deborah B., who's the trust and safety at Meta, and she worked there from 2022 till now. But the 9 years previous, she worked at the CIA as a data analyst and intelligence analyst. We have Cameron Harris, trust and safety at Meta, former CIA. We've got this guy named Hagen Barnett, who's the trust and safety operations lead at Meta, and he's the head of harmful content operations. He manages dangerous organizations and individuals. And back in 2006 2008, he was a Central Intelligence Agency contractor. There's this part from the article over here at mintpressnews.com, and it's a section of the article titled "Spooks in Every Department." Mint Press has found former representatives of the U.S. national security state in virtually every politically sensitive department at Facebook. This includes even higher levels. Between 2020 and 2021, Chris Rose was a member of Meta's Governance Oversight Board. He spent 6 years at the CIA as a political and counterterrorism analyst. There's also a considerable overlap with the U.S. government and the company's front-facing staff. Katia Koroma was plucked from her position as FBI spokesman. Jeffrey Gelman was the policy communication manager for Facebook's oversight board, was a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, and held influence in both the State Department and National Security Council. And executive communications spokesman Kevin Lewis spent many years in the White House as President Obama's spokesman. I mean, the article goes on and on. And this is just an article on Facebook. So if you could imagine what's happening at Twitter, what have you, I'm sure it's insane.
DJ Shaquille O'Neal shows.
And that's why it's like, first Mark had Facebook. Everyone was using Facebook, especially like in the early 2010s. And then he recently bought Instagram. So the amount of information that he has on almost everyone in the U.S. is absolutely insane.
Demonic visuals at his first 360 show that sold out. Oddly enough, he commented this on one of my videos a while ago, and he said, "They even got me, man. Save me, someone please." Now, he could be trolling, or is this the truth in plain sight? And when you take a look at his visuals, I mean, someone getting crucified with chains. You have this woman praying with horns on her head, and I mean, you got skulls with horns on them and all kinds of stuff. And I'm not saying these two are correlated, but Shaq is a open and proud Freemason, and he wears his ring all the time, but just very interesting.
Wow, I have never seen anything like this before in my life. It's a red sky. There's a major storm coming in. Wow, I have never seen anything like this. Just wanted to share. It's Minnesota, and of course we're blue. Wow, look at that.
Nah, that looks sick. That's dope.
Wow. Oh, I gotta show you this. Over here, and you can see that there's almost a rainbow in the sky. Wow, I have never in my life witnessed anything like this before. It is the weirdest looking color I've ever seen.
Nah, that's amazing.
You got a heck of a storm coming up.
You got like everything going on in the sky right now.
Holy smoly.
Speaking of Australia, they had the first person to ever be frozen.
What do you mean?
Cryo chamber.
It's wild, dude.
And like, he woken up later?
For the first time, they've successfully defrosted brain tissue. For a long time, it was really hard to come out of frozen, but they've successfully been able to like reawaken brain tissue.
That sounds terrible.
So here it is. The man's 80 years old. The company calls Patient One. He this month and underwent the complex process to be cryogenically frozen with the hope of coming back to life in the future.
Wait, but how can it resuscitate your life?
That's my thing. That's even scary.
As long as they.
Oh, so like if technology develops enough to where they'll unfreeze him, there's no way.
They're put into a cooling chamber filled with liquid nitrogen at negative 190 degrees at Celsius. So I don't know what that is, but that's
We're not gonna do that.
That's
crazy.
No way.
That's insane.
Then he's transferred into a vacuum. He's vacuum sealed.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
Is he really frozen?
Maybe, I don't know, but they say it's meant.
Did you see that one commercial? I think we talked about it before. And they literally showed like Walt Disney coming out of a chamber of him being frozen.
They're just like a joke because they talk about it. It's like a joke.
I don't know, man.
2 suns that were spotted in the sky.
Bro,
also
like,
something that
that's like low-key time traveling. Like, say like you're born and you're 20 years old. You're like, all right, boom, freeze me up. Unfreeze me in like 200 years. Imagine you get unfrozen, there's just no one on Earth. The whole rapture done happened. They left you behind, man. Come on.
found interesting is that you have these ancient drawings of 2 suns. An ancient cave drawing apparently unearthed in 1969, dating back to 4500 BC. So this one clearly has 2 reflections.
Yeah.
Here's a picture. You see like what would be the source light in the back, and then what we see as the sun below the bridge.
See, the first one's giving us that glare, that sun ray.
Yep. Look, North Dakota, March 23rd, 2023. Yeah, this one right here, where you can literally see the 2 suns through the trees. Watch, they zoom in, and look, you can see
yes,
2 different suns, and they're both behind the trees. So how does that happen? If it's a lens flare, it would not do that, right?
Yeah.
I have no clue, bro. It's like, I know the government controls the weather to a certain extent because they could create clouds, but now creating an entire sun, that's beyond me. 40 tons of dead fish have been removed so far. They believe flooding could be behind the incident. Flooding? They live in water. How is flooding going to affect fish?
Welcome back to Strange DARPA Projects you probably haven't heard of, Part 2. As we talked about before, DARPA is the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Today we're going to be talking about the advanced plant technologies that they're working on. Pause to read if you're interested. Mainly the gist of it is right here. That DARPA is working on ways to harness plants' mechanisms for sensing and responding to environmental stimuli. So they're going to have monitors on these plants, so they'll be able to know if there's radioactivity in the air, what the temperature is, if there's an earthquake, all kinds of strange things that plants know what's happening. These are some of the things that they're going to be able to monitor via ground, air, and space monitors. So is this a project they should pursue or not?
Hey, it's Clampam. So more than a few people have been asking me to look into the radar anomaly. I posted just about an hour ago, and I already need to give an update because you won't believe what I found when I dug deeper onto what causes these strange geometric shapes. Normally I can reverse look up images and I can get an answer very simply. This is an unusual one because when you reverse search this image, all you get are repeats and echoes of the post. What is this strange radar anomaly in Mexico? I had found 2 different posts from meteorologists saying they were radar tests. So given that they're meteorologists and I'm not, I thought that must be it. But I dug deeper specifically for these strange geometric shapes that are very, very specific. All fingers point to magnetic flux. I started to search for the images most similar to the radar anomaly, and I wound up at something called ATLAS, the ATLAS experiment at CERN with the Large Hadron Collider. Trust me, I don't know where this is going either, but it is literally the only thing that I could find that ties into the strange patterning. Having said that, I did find, apparently, and I have no way to verify this, at one of the sightings in Mexico, people posted pictures of clouds like this. They say this radar anomaly works out to be about 300 kilometers wide. So here's the thing, for one of these, Mexico's power department in that area said they had a power situation a power irregularity. What could cause a power irregularity that might also be generating an image like this in radar and ties into magnetic flux? Many people believe it was a UFO. Frankly, I'm not going to say it wasn't. I saw Nope, where UFOs hide in clouds. If I was trying to hide my personal UFO, I would fly in a cloud or make a handy little cloud to disguise me.
You can see this strange carving on the wall. Can you tell me what this is? Yes, it is a car, just like a modern day car with 4 wheels. You can see the body of the car here.
That's
you can
insane.
see that it has 1 door carved on it. And this guy is driving it. He has 1 hand on the steering wheel. And on the other hand, he's blowing a horn. He's honking by pressing this bulb-like thing. These types of horns are called the bugle air horns. And when you press them, it honks. And look at the big light in front of the car. A giant light source is mounted in the front. How can a temple built 800 years ago have a car carved on it? Did cars exist 800 years ago?
I was watching the ISS quote
I
unquote
don't know.
live.
What do y'all think? Y'all think it's because cars existed? We know like chariots existed, but to have a honk and have a steering wheel on it, that's quite interesting. Or do you think someone was kind of tapping into the future spiritually and getting visions? Comment down below what you think.
Check this out. Pay attention. Right in this area.
What?
I mean, for the love of God.
Did you know in 2019, Salem, Massachusetts debuted the world's largest Ouija board? Look, this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone considering Salem is known as being a big witchcraft place. So what are some things you...
There was this thing called the Salem witch trials. Like if you were caught being a witch, horrible punishment. I think even death.
Can expect to happen to you if you play with a Ouija board. Demonic possession is highly likely. Demonic visitation, items moving randomly throughout your house, being sick all the time, bad dreams, relationships sabotaged, and life in general sabotaged.
Per the IRS, folks who fail to file will owe 5% of the unpaid taxes for each month a tax return is late, maxing out after 5 months. After that, the penalty will continue until the tax is paid, up to a max of 25% of the unpaid tax. Unbelievable. From time to time, the State Department hands the IRS a list of people who have been taken hostage.
A U.S. government report now links fluoride to lower...
After that, the penalty...
They out here going after hostages just to get their money for the tax. Bro, America is a fiend for the tax money. The IRS is the biggest gang possible. They like, nah, we gonna get our money one way or another. If they were just hostages, they chilling in bed. You know what I'm saying? Chilling with the fam. But since they owe taxes, they about to take a flight, go on a mission, do the whole 9 yards.
Until the tax is paid, up to a max of 25% of the unpaid tax.
Unbelievable.
From time to time, the State Department hands the IRS a list of people who have been taken hostage.
A U.S. government report now links fluoride to lower IQs in children. Although there have been numerous other reports on this is the first time that a federal agency has connected the two. Fluoride is used to strengthen teeth and reduce the risk of cavities by replacing lost minerals. So, fluoride is added to our drinking water in low quantities. The studies were conducted by the National Toxicology Program and were conducted in China, Canada, Iran, India, Pakistan, and Mexico. It concluded that if more than 1.5 milligrams of fluoride is added per liter of water, that it consistently associated with lower IQ levels. Although it didn't specifically state how many IQ points lower, it's estimated that it's about 2 or 3. While the World Health Organization considers 1.5 milligrams or lower a safe level, federal health officials recommend only 0.7 milligrams per liter of water, which is less than half of what the World Health Organization recommends. And the Environmental Protection Agency maintains the requirement that it cannot exceed more than 4 milligrams per liter of water. This is in place to prevent skeletal fluorosis, which causes weaker bones and stiffness. Roughly 1.9 million people just inside of the US are on water systems that use 1.5 milligrams of fluoride per liter or higher.
You're managed by the company you look after S Club
Yeah,
7.
I heard that like fluoride affects your pineal gland, and this is exactly why. Like even my toothpaste, I have fluoride-free toothpaste because toothpaste is something that you use every single day, and day after day it's gonna constantly affect your pineal gland. So I don't think it's really worth it, and especially even if they're putting in water, bruh. They're trying to dumb down the people, keep them controlled.
Look after the Spice Girl Simon Fuller. Have they tried to mould you in any way that people ask you to do things to change the way you look or speak or behave?
Yeah, one of them tried to mold me into a big triangle shape, and I went, no.
Okay, someone want to explain this? I removed this track lighting from a property today. I think the lightning... Why is this lit up? This is in a garbage pile from a remodel. This is... I'm scared to touch it. This is disconnected track lighting. Look at this. Disconnected track lighting. There's the wires right there. 120 volt LED bulbs sitting in a garbage pile in my driveway. I shouldn't be touching this. This is disconnected track lighting, completely lit up.
Bro, let's tap into another source of energy.
What the heck is going on?
One was in a window in a grocery store in New York where it said that it was collecting your biometric identification data. While a lot of people think that it's just for catching criminals and stuff like that, I think it's more along the lines of corporate America. As the world gets more advanced, we're getting like TV screens for windows and stuff, and they can advertise stuff that's catered to you like your phone does. Like, even though you haven't searched anything about getting a new PlayStation, you haven't looked up PlayStation, but you talked to your friend that one time about getting a PlayStation, and your phone picked it up, so they're advertising PlayStation to you. I think it's going to essentially be used in the same way. Like, your phone overhears you talking about something, and it's advertised to you when you go in the grocery store. Not only will they have your biometrics, they're also going to have microchips implanted into you so you can have your ID and your credit card, and you're going to have your Google glasses with all your stuff popping up on it as you're walking through the grocery store. It just seems like corporate America is just getting larger and larger and more inside of your brain. I mean, obviously
100%.
These inventions are awesome, but we're going to turn into idiocracy. Everything's going to come out of a
I want to talk about this scary video that's been circulating.
But that's the one thing. I'll have a conversation and mention a product one time, never look it up, and then it starts getting advertised. I start scrolling past it on Instagram. There was this one time, like, I went to the supermarket one morning, in the bakery section, you got them glazed donuts, freshly made, looking so good. I'm like, I didn't even say it out loud. I thought to myself, dang, I really want a glazed donut. Next thing you know, I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? Self-control, got to be disciplined. I didn't get it. I get home, I start scrolling on Instagram. One of the first reels I come across is someone making a crazy donut. I'm like, yo, come on now. I don't ever watch bakery videos, but now since I thought it, bro, I don't know what's going on with Meta. They on some different type of timing.
Turn into idiocracy. Everything's going to come out of a
I want to talk about this scary video that's been circulating.
There's nothing behind it. So this video was taken late at night on Coranzo Road, a famously haunted road in New Jersey. And in it, the guy's sensor keeps going off like there's something circling the car, but he keeps cutting back to the back camera showing that there's nothing there. And maybe you're thinking, yeah, whatever, the guy's sensors are probably broken, but there are a ton of sightings just like this on this exact road. And it's all because of this monument we see at the end of the video, which is supposedly cursed. I'm going to tell you about the monument, but before I do, this is all coming from this week's episode of the podcast about terrifying true urban legends. So this is that monument. It's buried deep in the woods in New Jersey. And it's to honor Emilio Carranza, who was one of the most famous pilots in Mexico's history. One night, Emilio was flying from New York back to Mexico when a huge storm hit and he crashed in New Jersey right where the monument is. And now all sorts of weird stuff is seen by this monument. People say they see lights in the sky that look like a plane crashing. They say their sensors go off like something circling the car. They even see faces coming out of the woods sometimes. And all of that makes this sighting even...
Today I've got some bad news about our food supply and the general health of the planet, because global food production is being limited by a lack of pollinators, i.e. pollinating insects. And increasing the amount of pollinating insects could actually help improve our diminished crop yields. In case you didn't know, there has been a global insect population decline over the last, honestly, 50 to 100 years, thanks to a whole bunch of things.
I've always wondered, why did God make these creepy crawlies? Like, was he just having fun? Was he just like doodling, just creating these ants and these random insects? But now I know why. They pollinate the plants so we could have better growing crops. God, I'll never doubt you.
That we're up to, from pesticides to agriculture, deforestation, nitrification, driving cars, drought, just all sorts of stuff that humanity is doing is resulting in less insects, more or less across the board. What's interesting about this, though, is that the foods that rely most on pollinators tend to be nutritionally dense foods such as fruits, vegetables, nuts, and legumes, and also culturally relevant dishes. They don't really affect things very much so, like if I can find it in here, rice and wheat, which don't require pollinators to reproduce. However, we do need pollinators to make nuts and berries and stuff like that. This article indicates that the ones that are most affected by it are blueberry, coffee, and apple crops, which is a shame because those are three very, very popular things. And this was done via a statistical analysis on 1,500 different fields in all around the world, and they logged more than 2,000 bee visitations and compared that with information that's available in an open source database of 3 decades of field observations of bees and other pollinating insects and plants, which is very, very impressive. I personally didn't know there was an open source bee visitation database, but it makes sense to exist given the scale of the problem. I thought this was very interesting. It's very concerning. I do like to try to cover insect population decline on this, I guess, science TikTok, but it's hard to get people to care because bugs are creepy, nasty little crawlies, and they bite and they sting and they're annoying.
Bro, why do we find bugs so creepy? Honestly speaking, I think it has to do with movies that we watch. But there's certain movies that you watch movies and people are just automatically scared of bugs. But like when you're a child and you just look at a bug, it's not like you're necessarily like scared of it. Like, oh no. Like if your mom is like, ooh, look at the spider, it looks so nice, you're gonna grow up being like, oh, it's a spider. You know what I'm saying? Why are most people in it? Because like even me, like if I see a big ass centipede, I'm like, yo, that shit looks disgusting. But hey, that's just inside my mind when I be thinking.
But we need them. We need them for our...
I've discovered 25 that are all related to each other. Yeah. They all share one ancestor. If you've been following me, you already know about the Fuller unalivers. But did you know that the Fuller line was Fowler before that? And that changes everything. Remembering that all 25 of these are related through one ancestor, making them all cousins, we've got H.H. Holmes, who has a triple dose of this Fuller Fowler. We got Mr. Donster, Mr. Gacy. Welcome Pee Wee Gaskins to the list because he's a Fowler, and that is the same line. We got Charles Manson. We've got Casey Anthony. Yeah, that's right, we got 2 girls on the list. We also have Diane Downs. Welcome Leonard Lake to the list. He is now officially on the list because he had Fowler, and he is now with the Fullers. We've got Otis Toole, Holly Crippen. We got Patrick Kearney, Michael Bear Carson. This list is so big I needed a page 2. We've got Jack Fuller, Mark Scott Thornton. We got Robert Fuller. We've got the Mensa. That's George Trappell, David Hendricks, Robert Burdella. That's right, Edmund Kemper, Lauren Thomas, and these lower 5 I've still yet to connect, but I'm 100% sure they're on the same line. We've got Jamie Fuller. We got that guy right there, Wade Wilson. Down in the bottom corner, we got Bobby Fuller. Right there is David Fuller, and this guy was confirmed with his DNA. I still have to link it with his tree, and that's Nicholas Patrick. 25 unalivers all share this ancestor. Yeah, skin.
Hey, it runs in their blood. It's unfortunate. Rare bolts of upward lightning illuminate the sky. Bro, is this real? You never be knowing AI. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna pause it right there. Whatever's going on in this video right here is just already looking off. You know what I'm saying? You got the skeletons in the back. You got Chucky. Like, what's going on here? Whose home is this? Why do you have all this decoration of, like, come on.
Chucky, wanna play?
Oh, I don't want to play.
Here's a guy who is reaping the consequences of the education system.
Oh, wow, this is like the modern day. Oh, there it is. Wow, that's Popeye. Oh, wow, he's going to prove it's real. Wow, it's real.
Yeah.
I mean, he could barely get the shirt off of his muscles because they're so big.
Muscles? You mean the filler?
Oh, wow.
Fighting.
Look at his arm. Not his,
Ladies, how you gonna like it if we start, you know what I'm saying, filling up our muscles with something? I mean, y'all doing it with the BBLs. Y'all doing it with the lips. You know what I'm saying? He's on to something here.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
Look at that.
You could tell he's never even hit the gym.
Why would anybody want to?
You could tell, man, right there, never even hit the gym, bro. Ever. And it just really didn't look good. But comment down below any thoughts they had about any of these TikToks that we had watched, especially this one with Cardi B. What do you think happened with her? I think she was demon possessed or just trolling, just acting crazy. Hey, I don't know. These celebrities be on some very, very weird behavior. So comment down below what you think. Smash the like button, subscribe. Only makes sense since you watch this point of the video, and turn on post notifications so you can catch when I drop another video just for you. Peace. I love you.